Don't be staring at me then shit. The fuck?
Well, hey guys, welcome back to No Sabo, the podcast where we talk about everything and anything,
Where we talk about single moms.
all the way down to death.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome back for those of you who are just coming, and welcome to episode number 7.
Yes, sir.
When you guys are watching this,
sir.
Easter had just passed. How was your Easter, Bucko?
I was just.
What did you do?
Cut the grass. Get that shit over with. And what else I do?
Why'd you laugh there, buddy? What'd you just remember? Let's talk about it.
Well, I went to a friend's house and watched. We ended up watching Jackass. Have you seen the new Jackass?
Dude, tell me there's not a lot more dick than what
Yeah,
used to
there
be
is a
back
lot
then.
of dick.
Like this Jackass had so
And for
much
some
dick
reason, I
to
thought it was
it.
gonna be longer.
No, it was pretty short. But
Yeah.
when I went to go see it, I went to go see it at the movie theaters with my girl.
Yeah.
Dude, tell me why there was a dad in there that had taken his 15-year-old daughter. The girl was literally 15. And then mid dick scene, he was like, "All right, we gotta go."
Okay.
Because the opening scene, it was the dick
dick,
Godzilla,
yeah.
and then the moment where the Godzilla had came, that's when the dad was like, "Yeah, let's go." And he got up with his daughter and they walked out of the movie theater. Like, who the fuck takes their kid to go watch Jackass?
Their daughter was like, no, try to continue.
No,
watching.
she was like, "All right, let's go." But it's just bro, this Jackass had a lot more dick scenes than normal, so I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
this is a little weird. But I think the funniest part of that movie was when he put him in the dark and pretend there were snakes inside.
Oh,
and
that shit was funny as shit.
They had the night vision goggles.
Yeah,
that shit was funny.
Yeah.
But that's all you guys did. You guys just watch the movie?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, you didn't get lit or anything?
That was Sunday.
Sunday you got lit?
That was Saturday when
Oh boy, back to back days?
back to back.
Oh shit! Back to back days. My
back
bad.
to back.
I thought it was all on the
we're still
same
talking
day.
about Saturday.
No, yeah, I was on Saturday at that point.
Nah. Saturday. What did we do? What did I do Saturday? I went to work and then I painted, and then that's when she hit me up and shit. We had planned to meet up, but then she was like, "Oh, I'm about to be in your area, like down in MD or whatever." I was like, "What area?" And it's right here by what's it called? Not Founding. Is it like Founding Farmers, or I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
But that place right there, or whatever. They went to a happy hour shit. I was like, oh fuck! I got there the last 30 minutes, and she ordered me a drink, and from there, we went back to her place, and then from there they were planning what to do, and shit. So we ended up going to a little family, the same girls we went with last week or whatever to the club. It was her place. They're family friends or whatever. And yeah, I ate good that night, papa.
Damn.
Yes, sir. They were feeding me carne asada.
Damn.
They got the homemade pupusa.
They trying to make sure you came back on Sunday, huh?
Yeah, when I walked in, they were just smacking the pupusas around. I'm like, hey, yo. And then the girl was like, you guys came a little bit late. We got there at 8:30. I'm like, what you mean late? He's like, they were ceviche. I was like, what?
Damn. Why didn't you hit me up, bro?
I didn't know. I didn't know what was the
I would have
plan.
came true for some ceviche.
Nah, so where her house is, it was at least 30 minutes more in Virginia.
Oh, that's dead.
Yeah, it was a little bit deeper in that
dead.
bitch. But then, yeah.
But talking about that shorty, right? Would you say you guys are you guys just friends, or you guys are
We're just vibing.
so you guys are just vibing?
Vibing.
Okay, just vibing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, right? Because would you say you've taken her on a date yet?
Would I? No.
You wouldn't take her on a date?
Oh, you said would I
No, I said have you guys gone on a date yet?
I wouldn't call it a date, no.
Okay, so all right.
You were like, would I take her?
Yeah, I was like, you wouldn't take her on a date. All right, let's go somewhere else with it.
No.
But maybe not her, but let's just say you
would I take this girl? Yeah, I would take her on a date, but the times I've been with her, I wouldn't call it a date. So
okay, so let's say you guys go out on a date, right? I don't know how you feel about this girl, but let's say you guys go out on a date. Would you feel some type of way if she complimented someone else's cologne before complimenting yours?
That's funny. We bring up cologne.
Why?
Because one time, she was like, "Oh, that smells really good." So
okay.
She wouldn't be complimenting him. She'd be complimenting me. She'd be like, "Oh," because one time she texted me, "So, oh, some guy smelled just like you and remind me of you." So
That's a little awkward.
sir.
No,
Yes,
but what I'm saying is like, how would you feel if she complimented?
Oh.
So let's say before that day happened, right? So let's say that day before she complimented that cologne you had on. What if she would have complimented somebody else's, another guy's cologne, stranger? Would you have been like, the fuck, bitch, or would you have just not have cared?
I don't really care.
So let's say you were in a relationship with a joint and like you just bought cologne. No, you wouldn't care at all. Oh, I saw that because it was just like
Nope.
a dude had wrote it on Twitter and like everybody was like making it like a huge big deal about it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, bruh, like dead ass went on a first date with the girl. His like the moment I knew it was over was when she complimented another guy's cologne before she complimented mine. He was like, never again did I fucking go see her after that.
It's different
So
if she
like,
would have been
okay.
like, "Oh, you smell like my ex" or something. I was like, "All right, all right." And then that's when the questions start popping up. Like, I don't know if we can do this no more.
What questions would you have about that? If you smell like her ex, you smell like her ex. You guys
I'd be
use the same
like,
cologne.
the next question would be like, "Do I want to see you again after this?" That's the next question.
If you ever smelled a girl and she smelled like a person you used to mess with, do you care? Or would you?
I haven't
bring it up?
had that situation.
Oh really?
Popped up, no girl smelled
Oh.
the same to me. Yeah.
That's so funny. No, but so let's say it happened. Let's say this shorty right here, she had on some perfume like that Jimberly used to wear.
I don't even remember Jimberly, what she used to wear
scent?
too. So yeah.
Okay. Any girl scent? Do you remember? Do you remember any girl scent that doesn't smell like
I
shit?
do. It's like fruity, yeah. Like
Okay.
fruity scents, but they're not the
So-
same.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. That'd be funny as fuck though. That hasn't happened to me either, but like I just keep that shit to myself. I ain't gonna bring it up. I'm gonna just
Oh,
be
yeah,
like, all right,
no.
I'm gonna let you be you. If you like the smell too, you like the smell too. You know what I'm saying?
She would have been like, "Oh, you smell like this kind." I'm like, "All right, buy me the fucking cologne then. I want to smell it."
So you know how there's like certain colognes that like every guy has. Like apparently like the Dior Sauvage.
Yeah.
Apparently that's like the F boy cologne. Like you put that on, like girls, number one, have already smelled it, and like it's either you're gonna like remind them of your ex.
Yeah.
Would you continue to wear cologne that's like that or not? Or would you just be like
That
fuck this
reminds of her ex.
one? Would you continue to do it just to piss her off?
Would it
Like,
piss her off?
Like what if you
That's
guys
the
are in an
thing.
argument? You're like, all right, fuck this bitch.
If I like the cologne, I like the cologne. The fuck? You're gonna buy a new one to replace it because I'm not gonna just let it go to waste.
Yeah, that's just like $130.
I don't even know what it smells like. So
I went to Lake Forest Mall and I went to go buy that Aqua de Gio joint. Smells so fucking good, dude.
I heard it
But
smells
like,
really good.
I tried to smell this the Dior Sauvage and I smelled like all these other ones.
Yeah.
And let me tell you just straight up, don't ever go to Lake Forest Mall for cologne ever again. Like I think they're reusing the paper that they've already sprayed cologne on and they're
fuck outta
spraying
here.
another cologne. So it's like mixing the scents that I was just like, all right, let me just get the fuck out of here. So I just fucking left and then I had bought that and dipped out and then so I'm just probably next time I would just go to like Montgomery Mall or something where they actually care about the
Their
customer.
customers.
But talking about dating and compliments, right? I don't know the correct term to use. I don't want to get canceled, so I'm gonna just use like.
Let me say this shit.
Huh?
What, you want me to say stuff?
No. Would you date a small person? I mean, you're already small, so would you date somebody? Like,
I mean, if you think 6 feet small, then all right. Okay,
you're
but
fucking 6. Motherfucker, if you're 6 foot, then I'm fucking Shaq.
no, boy.
Fuck out of here.
You fucking 5'9". I'm taller than you. We know that's facts. Come on, don't lie. You know it's true, Papa. Come on.
I can't wait if we ever get views and they're like, oh, like Diego's 6 foot, and they actually fucking meet you and they're taller than you. I'm a fucking laugh.
I'm 6 foot.
But no, you're not. You're fucking like 5'7".
No,
5'6".
bitch.
You're definitely like
6
5'5".
foot. No,
5'5".
I'm not.
5'4".
No.
5'3".
6 foot.
Shut the fuck up.
Goddamn.
Anyways, could you date a small person, like somebody who's like 4'5"?
I don't know.
I mean, your kids. I mean,
It's a 50-50 chance your kids could come out little. You just don't
right.
know.
So, but would you be able to date like a little person, like? I'm not saying that it would be weird because
It's
everybody's-
gonna be different. Yeah, you gotta have to
100%
adjust.
different.
That everyone's gonna stare at you and shit like that. But I mean, I don't
like
know.
because I just saw this TikTok. Like there was like 2 little people and like they were like dancing to a song, and I was just like, huh. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna have eyes on you. You're just gonna have to like get over it. It's gonna take time to like get used to and then not care.
But how would you feel if a little person came
If
up to
I
you
d-
and like try to like go smack?
Oh, you're gonna think it's so fucked up. I got a story about this, bro.
Oh, what'd you do?
So in Bolivia, we were meeting up with some friends, right, in the city, and so we're gonna go like go watch a movie or something, like all like a group of us, like maybe like 8 of us, and so I didn't know there's a little person being like a little like person, like she was a female, and I said hi to them, and then the little person was behind me, and I didn't like I turned around not seeing them. I'm like, oh shit.
They tapped you on the back of your leg.
No, I turned around and then I almost bumped like my leg like bumped into. I had to look down. I was like, oh shit, I didn't see you, and then I said hi to her or whatever. But yeah, but I was like kind of laughing. I was like, oh god, I missed her.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
So let's say her from Lily, right? I mean, you might obviously probably didn't find her attractive.
I don't even remember what she looked like, to be honest.
But like seeing that, like if she were to have came like and try to go smack at you,
I would
like,
be
would
like
you be
politely. I would be like, thank you for whatever you're saying, but no
I'm
thanks.
good. I'm good.
But
So you
no
wouldn't date a
thanks.
little person?
I don't think so.
Is it just me, or do they all kind of have like the same resemblance in like faces? Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I think they kind of do.
Like, I
in a
could
way.
have swore you were so close, but you're going to hell. Like, I don't even know what the fuck. I don't know if I said anything wrong. I'm just
Is it recording? Yeah, it is. I don't know. Really, I think they kind of do, ish.
ish, right?
Yeah, a
Like,
little.
they're like, yeah, okay.
You don't want to go because now you look bad.
Yeah, I look horrible because I mean I don't know how to really address like because like the way that I had it written down, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's like the offensive word to call them. So I was like,
Oh, the M word.
yeah, the
midget?
M, yeah. Damn.
What? I'm just saying for people if they don't understand what we're talking about.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure like the correct term is little person. But
Would you?
would I? I'm married.
Shut the fuck up. Would you?
I am.
Would you give a little person a shot?
If I wasn't in a relationship,
All right, shut the fuck up with this. I answer the goddamn question. Would you give the person a shot? Yes or no?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
And it's not the mere fact that like I'm just a dickhead. So just imagine the jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But what if they can match that energy too?
they can't.
I mean, you don't know.
they probably wouldn't be like
You
I'd probably
don't
get on
know.
their nerves. But like you know me, man. Like I'm always the type of person that's ready for like I want the joke, so I'm gonna say the joke,
Yeah.
and it's just not gonna work out. Like I just found out the other day that like
He's gay.
that something happened to my like there was a situation that happened to my I can't say what the situation is because like it's gonna be like really bad when if I were to ever say it, but like it was like something serious at first, and of course knowing me how I am, I can't take shit serious, so I made it into a joke. I'm pretty sure I didn't offend her, but you could tell that she was probably like, this motherfucker like needs to stop.
Oh.
So yeah, no, I'd always be going for the joke, but no, I can't do it. Like I don't know, like I would just always just want to pick him up. You know, I would just want to pick her up and just be like, hey, like just.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can either.
But yeah, I mean, it was just. But is it just me too? And like not trying to be like disrespectful or anything like that, or like say anything wrong, but like them midget shorties are thick, boy. I don't know why. Like
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
like I was just saying, I'm
really
like,
be
is it because you're shorted to the ground? Like, is gravity like helping you out? Like,
Oh my
like
god.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
it's just it is what it is. Like,
I don't know.
you know, no homo, men and female. Like, they look like little stumps. You know. Why you
Oh god.
what do you have for me today? Then,
No.
bitch?
Oh, you want me to change subject?
Yeah, let's change the subject. What do you have for me today? I'm fucking out here just
Oh shit.
talking shit at this point.
Okay, since we're talking about the whole dating scene right now, what's the worst date you ever been on?
I don't think I've ever been on the worst date. Because
Or I wouldn't
I've
say
been
worst,
I've
or
been the life of the party.
Worst date or something you just felt uncomfortable, I guess. Maybe those two go hand in hand.
Comfortable.
I got one. That shit was fucking weird. And
All right, go ahead. You tell me yours because I have to.
I think
on
for
this
me at the time, I think that was the first time I ever took a girl on a date. It was like in, what was it? I think I was a freshman. A freshman or sophomore, I took a girl. I was like, let's go to the movies. I'm like, after that, I was like, I'm never taking a girl in the movie. It's so fucking weird.
What happened?
Back as the first date, first date, it was just so quiet and not talking to each other. We were just watching the movie. I'm like, This
That's
is
what
weird.
you fucking do at the movie.
But
theater.
no, but that's what I don't like. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, I'm good. It just felt weird for me. I wouldn't do it. As for a first date, fuck no.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean that's fair, but
That's
at
my
movie
experience.
theaters, you shut the fuck up and you watch the
But
movie.
me, I'd be cracking jokes in the middle of the movie. I'd be saying shit. And that's just
And
not
I'd be
me.
trying to tell you to shut the fuck up. Dog, the times that we go out to the movie theaters together and you're just
Bitch, how many times I've been in the movie theaters? I don't even.
We went to the
Went
movie
to a couple
theaters.
of times. Yeah, that one movie we watched
after
like
being kids, away from being kids. We went to movie theaters probably like 4 times.
when.
Right? We
I remember for a Halloween one, we went to like
yeah.
a scare that was like a purge, not purge.
Yeah,
but,
no. So we saw 2 purges.
Yeah.
We saw the one where like the nun.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called. The nun.
Yeah,
and we saw Insidious.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
are the 4 movies we went to go see. So all 4 movies. It's cool that they were scary movies too, because they're actually really good. But all 4 fucking movies, we're watching the same fucking movie. There's no reason for you to be asking me questions about the fucking movie that we're both fucking looking at.
You might know.
Oh my god!
You might get a
bro.
good guessing. I'll be like, oh damn, you're right.
So you shut the fuck. So that's what movie theaters are meant for you to shut the fuck up.
Nah,
I can't stand motherfuckers that be talking during the movie.
Not me.
But no, that's understandable. I mean,
I just made. I wouldn't say it's worse, but it just made me feel uncomfortable.
I think first dates you should probably be taking girls to like somewhere where like it's an activity that you guys can both get into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
And that's why I learned. I'm like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been in like uncomfortable, but like, have you ever been like on a first date where like off rip, I guess you and the girl just feeling each other and you guys are just like making out in the movie theaters?
No, I've never made out with a girl in movies.
Okay. But her breath kicked. So like there was a point where obviously like you want to stop because you're just like, bro, I just can't deal with like the breath. And
what was her excuse to get out of that one?
She wouldn't stop though, bro. Like I'd be like, oh, let's watch the movie, and then you get pulled right back into it. I'm just like I'm not gonna be disrespectful. I mean, like you're willing to give me like a smooch. I ain't gonna be disrespectful, but dang, I'm saying you could have put some 5-gum energy in your fucking mouth.
You should have just been
before.
like, I think I'm gay now to get out of it.
Nah, never in my life would I ever try to use a gay card to get out of anything, bro.
Oh,
because imagine that she comes back to haunt you, where like you're like at the bar and you're trying to talk to a girl, like, oh, he's gay. It's like what?
That's just hilarious. I've done that before.
What, you just say you're gay?
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's not a lie though. That's factual.
That ain't facts, boy. That's you. I said that one time in Ocean City. I haven't told you that story?
Nah.
So it was for Beach when I went with Maria.
I remember like you getting lit and like
Yeah, every fucking day. No, I was stealing them.
Yeah.
From the neighbors.
You were throwing them out the window.
Yeah.
And then you walked around the house and picked them up.
And it came back to the crib. I was like, "What's up?" And they're like, "Where do you get this?" I'm like, "From there." That was when they got a big ass house party and the cops came and shit. And I ran away. That's how I ran away from him.
So, but the whole gay thing?
Going back to the gay thing. So Maria actually did have a gay friend. He was real cool. He didn't like. He's not the type of gay dudes that like flirt and shit. He's like real chill as shit. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah. He's like,
he
you like?
Just didn't find you attractive.
Maybe because I'm ugly as fuck. But and the guy was like, you think these girls are hot? And I was like, yeah. They're pretty or whatever. And I was like, oh. He's like, you want to get them real good? He's like, just say that you're gay. He's like, they'll all come to you, and then from there, just like once you're like in the room with them, just be like, I'm not gay. And then from there, you're gonna like pick one you want for the night. I was like, I don't know. He's like, try it. I was like, fuck it. So I did it, and I had like 5 girls, like legit 5 girls. And then I thought about it. I was like, I don't want to smash none of you guys. So they assumed I was just gay or whatever. And then after that, I just left to our house or whatever, and I just let them be.
Damn. So you were gay for a day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
mean, what's the biggest excuse you've ever used to get out of a situation with the female? Have you ever used like a real like big one where it's just like, oh shit?
I don't think so. Besides calling you that one time,
there was this one time, and this is gonna sound so fucking horrible, and like God, please forgive me. I was just dumb and young. I used my grandparents as a getaway, but I had said that one of them had passed away.
I've never used that.
I gotta go, bro. I've always felt so bad. I mean, it got me out of it, of course, but I felt so freaking bad about using that because I was just like, bro, like if anything's to happen to my grandparents during this time, like it's on me. Like I can't fathom that. But yeah, no, I use my grandparents as a getaway. That was probably like the worst thing I could have probably ever done.
Yeah, nah.
Like, just tell the truth, bro. Like, just be like, if you don't want to be there, just fucking leave.
I know
Or just
MC.
have
I know
them
for
go.
MC, I said one time. So I had a friend that used to do daycare and shit, and then whenever I would be late to class or I just whatever, I was like, oh, I gotta take care of my kid, and then I told her like, yo, send me a picture of a kid that's kind of chinky. And then, so if they ever ask, show me a picture of your kid, I'm like, oh, he's at daycare, I gotta pick him up. And there's the picture.
What the fuck?
And some of them would believe him, because, like, who the fuck are they to be like, you don't have a kid? Yeah. So I used to say that shit. Then I would say, oh, my God.
This kid is white.
It's like, yeah, his mom's white. No shit. And what else I used to say? Oh, my car broke down. Shit, like, just simple stuff like that.
No, I was never late to. I don't think I. Yeah, I was never late to class. I never even skipped in high school like that, bro. In high school, I probably skipped like 4 times, and that
I think so. Same.
In my head, I was
Kinda
like, bro, I'm gonna just fuck. I could just fall asleep in class.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why people skip.
Struggle
Just
with
go
the
to
whole
sleep.
security shit. I'm gonna just go to sleep.
And it's funny because they skip one class and the next period they're there. Like,
Yeah.
you're fucking dumb. Like,
have you? Because my girl has actually brought this back up to me, and I had to completely forget about it. In your high school, when you got gave this break, were you guys ever doing the whole fucking backpack shit where you guys flipped the backpack inside out?
no.
On somebody that fell asleep? Bro, they used to do that shit at Watkins Mill. Like, literally, you could be sleeping, and if you left your backpack there, they would grab your backpack and, like, take all your shit out, flip it inside out, and then put all your shit back in, and then put it back. Dog, you know how fucking annoying that shit was to have to try to fix? Right when the bell rang too, like, you're not about to walk out with like the fucking backpack just like that.
But then again, my senior year, I only carried a folder. I stuffed everything in there.
Yo, senioritis was fucking real.
But
bro.
same time, my senior year, I only had 2 credits I needed. The rest were just because I didn't have a job or whatever, so I couldn't have a half day. So they were just.
I kind of fucked up on that. I never told them I had a job senior year because they would have just left me have a half day.
Yeah, I only needed 2 credits, and then from there I was just chilling.
Another thing that fucking at Watkins Mill that we like, dude, senior year, I could probably honestly tell you I didn't do shit. And shout out to that high school, to that English teacher I had, because I was failing her class. You know how you need 4 years of English class, right?
Yeah.
So that was my last year of English, obviously, a fucking senior. And bro, like, I had an E in her class. I had an E, and then I needed to pass the exam with at least a D, right? Cool, whatever. I can do that. But in my head, I was like, bro, like, I cannot fail the second part of the semester of school with an E. So I went up to her, bro, and I was like, I'm not going to say her name, but I was like, yo.
It's been 10 years.
She was cool as shit. I don't even think she works for MCPS anymore. I think she got fired. So Miss Cho, if for anyhow you fucking see this video, good looks, bro. Because I literally walked up to her and I was like, Miss Cho, I need to graduate. I was like, I am not coming back to this fucking school. Like, I have an E right now. We got to figure something out. And then she was just like, okay, fine. And she went
graduating
into the
this summer, like shit.
And she started fucking changing my grade. She's like, all right, like, if you would have turned this in, and if you would have turned that in, and then she's like, let's see what it brings in. Fucking brought it up to a B. I was like, bet. All right, cool. And I just walked out.
That's how my when I took what's it called, the body shop or whatever, auto body. There you go. I would go up to him. He was the one that always gave me 2 A's because those count as 2 classes.
Yeah.
And he will always give me a B or a C. I'm like, yo, my man's, why you giving me a B and a C, man? I do most of the damn work. I'm like your right hand man for this fucking period, and I really was, because he would always call me, Dale, do this, and he still gave me a fucking B sometimes. I was like, I came one time. I was like, hey, Mr. Lester, shout out to you. I was like, try and give me an A this quarter. He was like, whoa. He likes to joke around. He's really sarcastic. He's like, I don't know, Diego. He was like, you're not working hard enough. I'm like, I ain't no slave. I ain't Wally. And then, what's it called? And then it was like, because I used to leave my lacrosse shit in his in the room right there, because where the shop was, the field was right next door, so I just could walk right down the field. And I would just leave it there. And one time I was like, yo, come on, man. Just boost it up real quick. He's like, yeah, I got you. He just changed it right in front of me. He's like, oh, you good? And I'm like, all right, bet.
Yeah. Shout out to those teachers that care about our well-being.
Hey.
Because, like, bro, honestly, in that class, I ain't do shit.
So any teacher...
into that period just to fall asleep, bro. And that was, like, the last period of the day. I was ready to take a nap, son. So I just walk in there, go to sleep, and then that's it.
Any teacher that says They use that excuse. Oh, I can't change your grade like that. Bitch, yeah, you can. You just didn't want to. Fuck out of here.
You didn't fuck with me like that.
You fucking pussy.
Facts. You didn't fuck with me. That's the only reason why you didn't do it.
I don't want to hear that bullshit.
But yeah. What else you got first?
Speaking of high school or school in general, there was something about school. It's fucking stupid phones they on. What was your favorite part of lunchtime in high school?
The roast.
The roast?
Yeah, roasting. We were stealing like sandwiches and shit. I don't think I get like locked up for this part down, so it don't really matter.
It's been 10 years, the fuck.
Yeah. We used to steal sandwiches and shit. I think that would be like the funniest thing. And I think it would be funny because it was never on me to steal the sandwich. It was always someone else's. I was wearing the backpack. And it was like, well, if he got caught, it was on him. But would it be on us, you know?
How would you steal him? You just grab him and just put him in the bag?
Yeah,
or?
so basically like the way that Watkins Mill lunch line went, like, pretend like this is like the centerpiece, right? Mm-hmm. So we would come in this way, like there would be a door here and a door here. We'd come in this way, come a loop around, and end up out here. So it was like a big half circle. But the only thing is that like, even if you weren't getting lunch, you could walk into the line and just be with your friend, like they didn't care. Which in your head you'd be like, get the fuck out the line if you're not buying something, right? So we'd come in and then we would make sure that when we did it, like if we were actually doing it, like number one, it had to be burgers that they were selling, and number two, we had to do it like at peak lunch.
Yeah.
So at peak lunch, like shit was crowded, so the people up front, like at the registers, were like trying to like hurry the line through. So we'd walk in, and it would be four of us in a row, right? Mm-hmm. Boom, 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 boom. It would be one person, then the person with the backpack, and then the other two, and then the last person was looked at also just like as the first person was. The middle person was the one that was taking it out and putting the guy in front of his backpack. Mm-hmm. So when we came in, we would do that, and then we'd be like, all right. So then like we'd all each grab a sandwich, and then as the line was going through, we'd all just start passing it backwards. Mm-hmm. And then that one guy would have him, and so then like he would open up like a backpack, and then it'd be like, hey, grab my homework real quick that you're about to copy, because they're not gonna care. The lunch lady, they're not gonna care if you're copying homework. And like, like grab like my poster or something from my backpack, whatever it was, take it out.
So every day you had a new fucking excuse.
Yeah, and so then we would just unzip and be like, oh, okay, and then like the sandwiches would start just going in like that. And then and so then the guy would, and then one of us would the dude that we always had the backpack, he had free lunch. Mm-hmm. So he would get his lunch as normal, like put his pin in, whatever, walk out, and then we'd all just walk out behind him, and then he had the food. And then once we'd get back to like the classroom, because we didn't need like the tater, we just needed the sandwiches, unzip and take the sandwiches out, and we would all just eat them. So that, and then like the whole roasting part.
You guys didn't have an open lunch, right?
Huh?
You guys didn't have open lunch?
There was nothing near us to have open lunch.
Yeah, there is kind of, but it was kind of far though.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think for open lunch it had to be like a certain mile radius.
And then
because for you guys had all of Old Town, and then you guys had that whole thing in front of you too. There was like that shopping center where Jalisco used to be, where that shit was, and all that. So you guys could do it. It was just neighborhoods until like after like a 30-minute walk, and then you ended up in Montgomery Village. So at one point, Watkins Mill did have it, and then they took it away because like somebody got hit by a car, and they're like, all right, like we can't have this keep happening. So they just took it away. Yeah. That was my freshman year. That sucked so bad, bro. I swear to God, like every single time I'm coming new into something, like the whatever it used to be was so much better, and then they have to change it as soon as I get there. Watkins Mill, that's what happened. Work wise, like commission structure changes every single fucking time. And I'm just like, bro, like they used to get paid so much more better till I got here. Like, am I fucking like just bad juju for everything? But there was this one time where my boy, he finally got his license. Senior year, we all got hopped in his car and we went to go get food. Cause like security guards at lunchtime, if they know you're a senior, they don't. Mm-hmm. They're just like, oh, like you're probably going to work or something. So we all just hopped in the car and we dipped and we went to go get food at Quickfire over there in Old Town. And so,
I mean, not Old Town. That's Gatesburg by Chipotle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still considered Old Town.
Oh, I don't even consider that. I just call it Gatesburg.
But yeah, so over there, and so then we got Quickfire and we were coming back, and like obviously like by the time we got down there, by the time we get back, like lunch is over. So I'm walking into class with that fucking thing of Asian food, and then my teacher goes, she's like, "Hey, you know you're not supposed to be leaving off campus to get food." I was like, "Oh, my mom brought this for me." And she's like, "Oh, but you can't eat it in class." I was like, "Well, I didn't have lunch, so it's either I eat it in here or I walk out of the classroom and eat it. Which one do you want?" And she was like, "Okay, fine." I just eating my noodles and shit. So my stomach hurt so badly that day too. That's what I get for fucking going at her.
I would never really eat lunch, to be honest. I would never be hungry.
We never used to eat lunch either until that senior year where we could find out we could just steal it.
Yeah,
because normally I just waited until I got home from school and then I would just eat from there.
I would just get shit from the vending machine. You know me and my cookies, so I'll just get cookies.
Remember that Sobe drinks?
Yeah.
That used to be in the vending machines, bro. That's what we had. And then we had like some fucking weird ass what is this shit called? What did I call it?
Like soda something.
Like a carbonated drink that they had. That's like juices also. Those were in the vending machine that had like lemon, apple, lime, shit like that. That's what we had also. But yeah, I mean, what is your fondest memory during lunch?
There's a lot. Because we had open lunch, I'll be always like all over the place. But it'll be just a lunchroom, just chilling there, just seeing what shit goes down. Goes down as in like it was like a lot of shit. Like one time, some girl slapped some guy, legit slapped him in the. Like I didn't even know how it happened. I just happened to look up at the right time and I see her just slap the shit out of him. And then he got up. He was about to punch the shit out of her. And security just came and like tackled the dude and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
And then just like the friend group I was in, like Matias and all of them, seeing them just fuck around with the one guy. I was like, oh man, that's funny. I think that for me, it was just shit like that. But I think the best memory would be when John Paul poured milk on that Jocelyn girl. That shit was funny as fuck. I'm just sitting there at the end of the table. It was like me and Giovanni and Jorge. We were just talking, and then John Paul comes to sit. This when he just started dating Jenny, and he's like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "It was good." I was like, "You seem mad." He's like, "Man, this fucking bitch here won't shut the fuck up." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, I didn't know her, so I couldn't really say anything. So, and that was Jenny's friend, and she was like, "Yo," John Paul was like, "Yo, tell your fucking friend to get the fuck away from me before I pour this milk on her."
John Paul's such a geek.
And she was like, "No." I was like, he's like, "Well, tell your friend to fucking leave me alone." And she kept rapping and rapping, and I don't know what she said to piss him off, but one time not one time, that day he just had enough, and he just stood up, opened the milk jar, and went like. And she was like, oh, and I love him like, damn, like he actually did it. And then security is right behind, and they like walked him to the fucking office or whatever, and he just like, I don't give a fuck.
John Paul's a geek, bro. John Paul's like the nicest dude ever until you piss him off.
Yeah, until you piss him off,
and then
he gets
like,
mad.
All right, like it's a wrap.
Yeah,
but nah,
that shit was funny for me.
What was I gonna say? No, so in high school, right? Because you know how you said you used to like hang out in like the lunchroom and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We hung out in other people's classrooms, and like each year it was like a different classroom that we would always end up in.
Mm-hmm.
So we all knew to like end up there. That's our spot, right, for that year. And like there used to be like this creep ass teacher that always used to put his hands on females. Like he would rub their back like when they're asking him a question, or like he would put kind of like his hand on their lap or something. Dude was a serious creep, man. I never had him as a teacher, but like the girl that we had in our group, she kind of did. And then like another friend of mine, he had him as a teacher, right? So he'd notice when shit was happening. There's this one time, bro, that we wrote on his chalkboard, like he had walked out of the classroom, I guess to use the bathroom or whatever, and like the bell was just about to ring for lunch to end. We grabbed a chalk and we wrote Mr. Perv, big ass letters on his board, and then we pulled the joint down to cover it, and then we walked out. And then his classroom was closed for like 2 days. Like he would not let anybody from the lunchroom in that classroom out.
So there would be no teachers in the rooms or some shit? Or?
No, there has to be a teacher in there.
Okay.
Like they can walk out. Like they would have to let you into their room, and then they could walk out and go do whatever they want. But they'll come back. You know they're gonna come back.
Okay.
But you couldn't just be in the classroom without the teacher knowing. And so, like each time, like we just always had a difference about. Like one time it was like the computer lab, and like sometimes we wouldn't even turn the computers on. We're just chilling in there. It was that. This one teacher one time, like, we had this other friend who was kind of chubby. No. He had called him Mr. Diabeto. Mm-hmm. Son, that I had because I've never seen a teacher roast a student like that before. We called him Mr. Diabeto. I was like, I was kind of fucked up, but it was funny. That shit. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything. I never did anything wild in high school because I never wanted to get kicked out. I was like, the fuck, where am I gonna go? My mom won't take me to any other school. She's not gonna homeschool me.
I had a lot of choices for school.
Really?
My mom, because at the time when I just got into freshman year, some guy just got stabbed, and he's like a family friend.
Where at
Gaithersburg? Yeah, like he like barely lived.
Oh shit!
And then he got like, so suppose at that time, I guess Gaithersburg was like so really bad and a bunch of gangbangers, and my mom was like, let's try it this year or this half of the year. He's like, I know all your friends are there and see how you like it. If you like it, then well, you could stay. So it's either that, Gaithersburg, Watkins Mill, Magruder.
You piece of shit.
Magruder.
You could have came to fucking Watkins Mill.
Magruder, or what was the other one I'm thinking? There's one more I'm missing. I don't know which one. Not Damascus. That's too fucking far.
It wouldn't be Seneca.
Maybe Seneca.
No, Seneca would have been way too far.
Maybe. I don't know. But there's one school I'm missing. I don't know. But I know for sure Watkins and Magruder, those were another option too.
You piece of shit. You could have came to Watkins Mill High School and you chose not to?
Yeah. Fuck Watkins Mill.
Wow. Wow. You know how much... I mean, it's probably a good thing because the amount of shit that we probably would have gotten into would have been horrible. It's probably a good thing that you didn't come to Watkins Mill.
Well, good thing you didn't come to Gaithersburg. You don't know shit.
It would have been so fucked. So yeah. So what I wanted to talk about now this time, right? It's going to kind of go away from all that other shit. Experiencing ghosts. We were talking about this the other day because you were watching a show and I was like, no, we're going to hold off on this shit. Have you ever experienced ghosts in your life? Like, or like maybe not ghosts.
A couple times.
But something where you would have been like, there's no weird. Fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a coincidence.
One time in Bolivia, I was with, at the time, who I was with? Was I driving a car or a dirt bike? I think it was a dirt bike. And we were on the back of where, like, you know how, like, air park is where little planes come? Mm-hmm. So in Bolivia, there's, like, a place where the planes come, but there's legit no fucking lights. There's no lights. And there's a back way, no lights at all. Mm-hmm. And I'm there with the dirt bike. Then the dirt bike had a light or whatever. And I think I was with Jimberly at the time. We were just riding around. And then she gets scared really easily, right? So I'm just like fucking with her. I'm like, oh, you see that? And she's screaming and shit. To one point, we both saw like a person like on the corner. Like he wanted to cross the street or whatever, right? So I saw him and I slowed down and like flashed the lights to like let him go. And then he like crossed. And then we crossed with straight bushes. There's no way. There's no road there. So I was like, I stopped. I was like, did you see where he just went? And I remember it was a guy wearing a white shirt and black pants or shorts and just runs like a nice jog. He goes into the bush or whatever. I'm like, did you just see that? She was like, yeah. I was like, there's no fucking road there. So we go to that area and I just like turn the dirt bike thing, the jump where the headlights is, to that where I think he exactly went. Mm-hmm. And it's straight bush. There's nothing there. Like, I was like, I know I'm not tripping balls. I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. I know you saw it too. And she was like, yeah. She's getting freaked out. She's like, let's go home. Can you take me home?
Take me home?
And then, I didn't even go straight. I just turned around, took the long way home.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was that time. I was like, I don't know what the fuck. That was just weird. And then one time at Oscar's place, I think you were. I don't know if you were there.
What happened?
We were drinking one time, and that's when Carol, that's her name, right?
Rafaela.
Yeah, whatever. Her, Oscar, remember that white girl?
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the fucking cup?
Rachel or whatever?
I don't know her name, but is it the fucking cup incident?
The cup? Yeah.
When it was just in the middle of the fucking table and the shit just flung?
Yeah.
Side.
Were you there? I think?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it was, that was weird as shit. And at that time, he had no AC. The fan was, I'm like, there's no way a fucking fan's gonna just drop that shit.
Yeah, dude, I would never forget.
And we were sitting right by it, and then
a lot of my paranormal shit has been because of Oscar in his house.
Yeah, no, those are money too.
So like Oscar, right, at his house, and this I should have known to stop fucking going to his house when he told me it's like his first rule and his only rule at the house was if something happens, ignore it because if you don't, it's gonna continue to happen. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so this is not my first time like experiencing some ghost shit either, by the way. But like I was like, okay, like whatever. And then bro, like each time I was at his house, something was always happening. But like I automatically knew that like don't make anything like of it because if you do, it will get worse.
Yeah.
And so then like the first ever time where some shit happened was when so me and him were so number one, you remember how they used to say that Baba's was haunted too?
I've never heard of it actually.
So when I was working there, they were like, yo, like Baba's is haunted. Like if you ever open by yourself, or if any moment, if for some reason, if you're closing by yourself, like you'll know what we're talking about. And then I was like, whatever, fuck it, like you guys are just trying to scare me, right?
Yeah.
And so then there was one night, it was just me, Oscar, and Dala left. Mm-hmm. And like Oscar was closing down Baba's. He had taken over, so I was working, and then he took over the shift, and then my shift ended. So he was the one closing, so I stayed. Mm-hmm. And so me and Dala were just smoking hookah, and then we had music playing and shit. And now we're all just sitting down, right? And then we started talking about the ghost. I forgot. I think he used to call him like Henry. Mm-hmm. And like we started, Dala was the one that's like, yeah, like Henry be fucking around with some of us sometimes. Like it's never happened to you. I was like, nah. And we're listening to music. All of a sudden, dog, the music turns. And by the way, like the music is connected through a Bluetooth, which means we're playing the music. So none of our fucking thing has no screamo shit on there. Mm-hmm. And so then out of nowhere, bro, like the music just stops. And but like, you can hear like the silent, like faint. You know how you're with your speaker when we're talking on the phone. I'm like, yo, like turn your speaker off because I can hear the ee. So it's like that little faint, and then it goes, oh, and we're like, all right. And then that's when Dala's like, all right, Henry's telling us that it's time to go home. And at this point, it's like 3:00 in the morning. Yeah. So I hop in the car with Oscar, and like me and Oscar are like, dog, that's so fucking weird. Oscar starts driving home. This is when Oscar used to have the pickup truck. Mm-hmm. And so I had the window rolled down, and then we're listening to one song, and out of nowhere, and then remember, to get to Damascus, it's all woods. Yeah. So there's nothing, there should be no way that there's music playing outside. So like as he's driving down, there's music in the car playing, and then I can hear music from outside. Yeah. And like we've been driving from Baba's house to Oscar's house. It's a good 25-30 minute drive. Especially in that truck, it's like a good 30-minute drive. Mm. For 30 minutes straight, we were hearing the same song over and over and over again, but his music wasn't on loop. So we're like, bro, why is the same? I was like, hasn't this song been playing since Baba's? He's like, yeah. And then I'm hearing another song outside, and I get scared, so I moved, right? Mm-hmm. So when I moved, I was like, yo, what the fuck? I rolled the window up, whatever. We get to his house, and we're like, bro, and like, I should have known, don't go to the fucking ghostiest place now to go fucking be like, oh, like, we just had this shit happen. So we get to his house, and like, he's like, yo, like, turn the Xbox on. Cool. Turn the Xbox on. I put the controller on the fucking couch. I walk back to the kitchen where he's at, and like, he's grabbing juice, and I'm grabbing the food. And then we get back to the couch, and I'm like, where's the controller? I'm like, Oscar, I fucking put it right here. And then he starts looking around. He was like, I think I know where it is. He gets up and he walks to the kitchen, and it's on the counter in the kitchen. And then I'm like, Oscar, and he's like, he's like, it's gonna get worse if you start bringing shit up. He's like, don't say nothing. And so then I just stayed quiet, and bro, like that whole night I was just like I think I'm gonna die. Like this is it. Like this might be it for me. I'm gonna die. So there's that. Bro, there's so many encounters that I've had with like things, and like it's just things that you can't explain. Like when I first moved into this neighborhood where my mom's living at now, there's still times where you can hear shit, but it's a lot less than when we first moved in. I think the ghost is like cool with us now. But when we first moved in there, we didn't have the basement finished. And I still remember this day so vividly. Like my brother was like, yo, go downstairs, like check out the basement, guys. And we all go downstairs. He locks the door behind us. And so like we go downstairs, we look at it, the basement. Like you remember, there used to be a pole in the middle of the basement and shit. And we're like, oh shit, like the basement's like big and shit. Like laundry room, yada yada yada. We try to go back upstairs, and he had locked it, and we noticed he locked it. And then out of nowhere, you just start hearing the pole in the middle of the basement getting banged on. And I'm the last person. Everybody else is in front of me. There's nobody left in the basement for that shit to be happening. And it's getting banged on. And all you hear is ding, ding. And so we start freaking out. And he finally unlocks the door. And like we push the door open and like him with it. And like we were like, there's something in the basement. There's something in the basement. He goes to go check. He's like, there's nothing here. And then that was like the first thing where we were like, all right, like this house might be haunted.
Yeah.
We got like some of the neighborhood kids that used to live here before you moved here. Like there was these two girls that lived like a couple houses down from us. I completely forgot their name. They used to be friends with Michelle that lived down there too. They told us like they're like, yeah, like somebody died in that house. Do I know if it's real or not? No. I looked it up and like I couldn't find anything specific, but apparently somebody had died in that house and we didn't know about it. So that could possibly be that. Ghosting. How many more minutes do we have?
I just started, so I don't know. Yeah.
So that I'd probably say like 2 years later is when my parents left me and my sister alone in that house. I can't remember where everybody else was at, but my parents weren't home. It was just us two, and we had all the lights off except for the TV light. And if you remember, have you ever been to my house when my dad used to put the hardwood floors inside the house? No. So, because we never had a shed in the back, so whenever he needed to store hardwood floor, like the actual like big boxes of them, he'd store them in the living room and just pile them up in front of the TV.
No, I don't remember.
So then, at one point, like we would just walk up to the TV, being kids, we'd walk up and just like put our arms like on the thing and just watch TV like this, and just stand there and watch it. And so then that's what we were doing. We were watching TV with the fucking planks in front of us. And then, dude, I don't know what made me look. Yeah. But where the TV's like this, right? The hallway to where the stairs and the front door are here. I just go like this. And like I don't know what made me, but I just looked to the corner of my eye. And dead ass. And my sister will attest to this too, because she still remembers this. There was a person, and it was a guy with one of those top hats, like that look like a cowboy hat, but like the ones that American people would wear back in the day. He was wearing that. And his hand was on the railing, and like he was facing this way, like he's at the bottom of the stairs facing this way, going into the kitchen, like how yours is, facing towards the kitchen, has a ball thing like this, and he's turned like this, looking right at us through the hallway where the TV is. And I'm just standing there, I'm just like this, and I look, and I'm like, oh shit. Like at that time, like you being a kid, like the first thing that hits your head is not to be like, oh, and turn, right? I just start freaking out. I'm like fucking 10. So I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, Juana. I'm like, don't make any sudden movement. I was like, but look at the corner of your eye. I'm like, do you see somebody? And like, she does it. She's like, oh my God, yes. And like, she's like hitting me. And I'm just like, all right, Juana. Mind you, she is fucking 6 years older than I am. So if I'm like 10, she's 16. And she's fucking looking for me to do some shit. So I'm like, all right, like at the count of 3, like we're just both gonna look and just see who's there, right? So we're like 1, 2, 3. We both turn, nothing. There's nothing there, and boy, did we turn all the lights on in that fucking house. And you know, Spanish parents, you do not have every single light on in their house. We don't pay bills there. We shouldn't be having all the lights on. When my parents got home, bro, my mom wanted to beat the shit out of us. Because we had her bedroom lights on, we had our bedroom lights on, we had the basement light on, we had every single light possible to man turned on in that house to make sure that we didn't see that dude again. It was so crazy though. That the one time where I thought the Llorona was here in Maryland.
Yeah.
Dude, I think you said you never heard the screams, right? Yeah, bro. No. I could tell you right now, I almost shit myself when I tell you that. So you know how like remember, there's all different stories of how the Llorona is made, right? And like the story that I heard from Alejandro and his dad was that if you hear her crying like close to you, that means she's far away. But if you hear her crying from far away, that means she's close to you. that always stuck with me throughout my whole life, bro. And when I tell you that when I heard that scream at night, and it sounded like a woman crying, and like she was, it sounded like a woman crying, and it sounded like somebody was like chasing her.
But wouldn't you remember that one time you heard that and I told you it was a fox?
That's that time. That was like 2 days later when we were talking about it. You're like, it could have been a fox, and I was like, no, for sure it was La Llorona. She was looking for me. That one right there. So I remember you telling me that it could have been a fox because fox cries like that and shit. And then, but dude, like I don't know, man. When I would point, so I remember I was glued to my bed like this, like but like I was like, oh my God, please, come for me, God, please. I was praying, dude, that she wouldn't come and kill me. And then I remember I had enough balls. I had this alarm clock that, like, it was like a full alarm clock, but like the end could turn and it would turn into a flashlight. I flipped the flashlight on, and I had enough courage to like open my window up. Like I opened it up like this, and then I looked outside and I pointed the light outside to see if I could see her. Why? Like why would I need to see her? But I pointed the light outside, and then
you saw her.
It would stop.
You saw her.
It would stop. There would be no sound.
She waved at you.
Stop, bro.
Like, hey,
it's in the bushes. Just...
Yeah.
No, but like
I live here.
I pointed outside, bro, and like nothing. It would stop. There would be no noise. And then the moment that I turned the flashlight away from me, like you would hear it, and it was like, ah. And I was just like, bro, it was like that for like 3 hours. I could not sleep that night. Like I was glued to my bed, and like I could probably say I almost pissed myself. Dead ass. There's that time, bro. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's whatever. I'll match it.
Yeah, so there's that time. There's a time where we decided to go to that fucking haunted asylum.
Yeah.
So mind you, this like Oscar and Cheo said that they had. You remember like that? There's that bridge point between Damascus and Germantown and Gaithersburg that like lines up. There's that bridge where only one car can go through.
And if you honk or whatever, you can feel.
So apparently, like if you go there at midnight, you honk your car 3 times. You're supposed to hear like the dead body of the soldier that hung himself there. So this is back during like the Civil War, and I don't know, something happened with the soldier, like, and like he just decided to hang himself. So when you do that, you're supposed to hear the doom from his feet touching the ground, and then there's also supposed to be like the headless ghost rider that supposedly like rides through there and shit like that. So then Oscar and Cheo, apparently they had done it with my other friend Javier, and like they had seen some shit, right? I never believed it. So we go in my car, brand new 2000, and like I think it's like 2011, no, a 2014 Outlander Sport, brand fucking new. We go over there, and then I don't believe it, obviously, because I'm just like, bro, like, whatever. I didn't want to turn my car off, though, in case some shit did happen.
I still don't believe it to this day.
And in case some shit did happen, I didn't want to turn my car off. But they made me turn my car off. So it was me, Oscar, Isai. Who else did we have? It was me, Oscar, Isai, Cheo. And we didn't get Lucy in the car yet. Because remember, we still had Lucy. So we go over there, and we're in Isai. No. We're in Isai's Saab. Never mind.
Yeah.
We go in Isai's Saab. That shit's old as fuck. He turns the car off, and he does it. Nothing happens. However, he couldn't turn his car back on. So we were stuck there for like 5 minutes. I'm trying to figure out his car. So we're freaking out a little bit, right? Because we're like, dog, like, we locked the doors and like, what if something happens? Yada, 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 right? But nothing happens. He just couldn't turn his car back on. We got the car turned back on. He starts driving away. And that's when they're like, yo, let's go to the haunted asylum and just see like what people see, right? And like, literally, like, you know, I've heard stories about that asylum. Like, people have gone in there and they've come out with like their hand chopped off, or like they've taken ghosts home. And shit, like there's one specific one.
Off. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like during Halloween. I can't remember the story, but like the story went kind of like they went in. It was a couple. They went in, and then like I guess the guy got possessed, and then they made him chop his hand off inside the asylum. Like he was like losing a shit ton of blood and whatnot. I didn't believe that one. The one that I did believe though was the one where like this lady went in there with like a group of friends. She was the only one that entered the pediatric side of it. So the kid side. And And so then they're like, oh, like we didn't really. They didn't feel like a lot. They got like hairs behind their neck, like went up and stuff like a few times, but like nothing serious. She went back home, and the next morning when she woke up, there was a little kid at the end of her bed. And the story goes that the kid was like, if you don't like us coming to your house, don't come to ours. And then like walked out through the door, but the door was closed, so he walked through the door, and when she went to go open it, there was nobody there.
Yeah.
So that one, I was like, oh, that's a little fucking freaky. And then that so many things have happened at that asylum that to keep it protected, they have a cop post outside.
Yeah. I know
and to make sure that people don't go in. So the cop part, I was like, there's no way there's a dedicated cop just for this bullshit. And so then before we left though, Oscar was like, yeah, how funny would it be if we bring Lucy with us and she doesn't know? Because like Lucy's like very scared too. And then I was like, let's bring Lucy. And so then we called her up. We're like, yo, Lucy, where you at? And she was just like, oh, I'm home. We're like, yo, come through. Like, we're about to just drive around and like probably go to Baba's or something. And like, at first she was like, no, like I gotta work in the morning. And we're like, Lucy, come on, like stop being a little bitch. She was like, fine. We didn't tell her where we were going. I get out the car. Chael's on the other side. I let Lucy in. I get in and then I close the door. And then as Isai's driving, I was like, oh, by the way, we're going to like the asylum place that's apparently haunted. And she was like, what? And like she started hitting us to try to get out the car. We're like, Lucy, you're already in the car. Like, you're not getting out. And she was like, fuck it. So we all go. And once we get there, dead ass. As soon as you get to the asylum, there's a trailer of a police trailer right there with a cop inside. And you can see the cop car and everything. And there's actually somebody that's guarding the asylum every day, 24/7. And so once we get there, like you can see like the asylum's like on this side, and you can see all the windows. Some of them are broken, and some of them are like cracked up and all that good stuff. And like some of them are boarded up, some of them aren't, and some of them still have the old what's that shit called? The thing that blocks like people put on the window for privacy.
Shades.
No, because shades is blinds. So you can see the cloth blinds that are on there.
Okay.
They're ripped. So the first time we passed through, we didn't see anything. Like we're trying to see if we see anything moving, right? Nothing comes. He comes back, and we go again. Nothing. It's the third time that he comes back down, and we go like this. That he just stops. He's like, man, fuck, I'm just gonna stop the car right here. The cop tells us to keep moving. We'll keep moving. He stops the car, bro, and like I'm looking through every window. Dead ass. I kid you not. There's somebody and I can still remember it. It's center of the asylum, all the way at the top, left window. It's cracked, and one of the cloth things are moving. And you know that like at night, even if it's nighttime, if there's enough light, you can see a figure through a window. You know what I'm saying? So I see this figure, and like the blind thing is moving, and he's looking right at us. There's no fucking way that there's somebody in there just looking down. No fucking way. So,
did you pussies go inside or what?
Fuck no. Hell, you cannot pay me a certain amount of money to do that, bro. Never, ever. And that thing is, so this is the thing. My fear comes more from the church because of the things that I learned church-wise about shit like that. And I am not opening no fucking doors for no demons to come into my life. I got my own demons that I've already made peace with. We're cool. I don't need more coming in. So, when I saw that, bro, I started freaking out. I was like, he said he drive this bitch, go. And he drives off, and they're like, what happened? I was like, y'all didn't see it? They're like, no. We drive back around, we come up, and the dude is still staring at us. And I'm like, and I point at it, and I think, so Chael sees it. Oscar is still trying to look for it. And then, like, Lucy can't see, really, because she's, like, in the middle. And, like, she's trying to, like, go like this, like, through me to try to just look up. And, bro, like, I just freaked out. And I was like, yo, we got to get the fuck out of here. And then so we left. And, yeah, since then, I haven't had, like, the only other incident would be that cup shit when we're all partying at Oscar's house. And that shit was fucking wild, too, because we were all just sitting there. The cup is in the middle of the table, bro. Yeah. And who was it that walked around? Was it Nick?
I don't even know.
Somebody walked past the table, and the cup just went, A glass cup. It's not a plastic cup. A glass cup. And that joint just goes, zoom, and just falls. And you can see that everybody in the party just like stared at it.
Yeah.
It got so quiet for a second. And then that's when Oscar's like, all right, guys, let's party on.
Nah, I would think I probably left like after like 15 minutes after that.
Because you were like, fuck this.
That was weird. I'm like, I'm out of here.
There was this one time, bro, and like this is the thing, like Oscar's house. It's so that old house. When you've been inside of it, when you walk past to get like to the kitchen and to the living room, you remember to go down the basement. There was a wall, but there was a cut.
There's a little cut, yeah.
So that cut through. I don't know why. One night, I thought it was a good idea just to look down the steps, and I look, and dead ass, bro. There is a dude staring right at me, looking up. Nobody lived in his basement during that time.
Yeah, I think he even said, "Don't look down the stairs."
Yeah, Oscar always told me at night, he's like, Brian, whatever you do, like when you're going to go use the bathroom, do not look down the stairs. That's the last thing you want to do is look down the stairs at night. And the first thing I did was what? Fucking poke my head through the window and look downstairs, and I saw this dude staring right at me. And I calmly walked to Oscar, and I'm like, there's nobody living in your basement no more, right? He was like, no. And then I was like, and because there used to be somebody that rented the room near the kitchen. It wasn't in the basement. It was near the kitchen. I was like, that person's not home, right? He was like, no. It was a he. Right? It was a girl that turned into a guy, so it was he. I was like, he's not in the room, right? And he was like, nah, he is out. So I was like, huh. And then I didn't want to say anything, right? Because rule number one, you don't bring shit up because then it get worse. So I'm like, huh, all right. And I'm just looking at TV, and he's looking at me. He's like, what did you? He's like, why are you asking if there's somebody in the basement? I was like, Oscar, you know how you told me never to look downstairs at night? He was like, yeah. I'm like, he's like, you look downstairs. I was like, yeah. And there's somebody staring at me, and like he just looked at me. He was like, all right, so we're just gonna. And he just started flipping to the fucking channels like if it was nothing, dude. Oh my god, just this shit that would happen, bro.
You see, I think I would be down just to. Only thing I want to do.
Bitch, if you left 15 minutes after that cup getting thrown, why would you go into a?
I would go to an actual place. The only thing I would want to do is just hear the spirit box thing. That's the only thing why I want to go.
Those things are even creepier, man. When you hear them talking to you.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Just that. That's what I would just want to experience. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, this is actually fucking
like,
real.
What would you do if they told you like, get the fuck out, I'm gonna kill you?
Then I'll get out. I'm like,
I'm getting the fuck out.
Oh yeah, bye. I'm like, sorry I disturbed you. I just want to see if this was real. But yeah, and I even thought about buying a box just
You're crazy.
Going somewhere.
You are crazy.
Where it's apparently fucking haunted and just seeing it. But one thing I do remember, speaking of stuff like that, is my dad. So when he was younger, I think his room was like right like here, and then right behind it was his like aunt that used to live there.
Yeah.
And he said, and then I think his aunt or something, the husband died, and the way she would communicate with him was playing the Ouija board. She would
would you do that?
She would just ask him how he's doing, and he would respond, "Oh, I'm doing good," like that. They'll be talking through the Ouija board. There's nothing bad, like demonic. That's how she would talk to him. And one time, it was him, he said, and maybe one of his brothers or cousins. I don't fucking know, but they were playing. It was nighttime, and at that time, I don't know if they had the electricity back then. They had candles, I think, or some shit. I don't fucking know. In Bolivia, but the lights went off. And then you hear my aunt laughing, and then from why she's laughing, because she was like, did you just turn off the lights to them? And then his name was Victor Hugo, like my dad. So I have the same name. He was like, yeah, I was the one that just turned off the lights to scare them. That's what he responded in, like, through the Ouija board. He's like, yeah, that was me that turned off the lights. He was fucking with my dad and my cousins. What?
Hell no.
And yeah, and then eventually my dad asked, like, was that him that was messing with us? He was like, yeah, that was him. No. And then yeah, that was creepy. I was like, what the hell? But that's all I would do.
The creepiest stories are like from like third world countries, not third world countries, but like other countries, like like El Salvador has like La Ciguanagua, La Llorona. La Siwanawa apparently is like a ghost that's like that. Like, if you're traveling at night through the woods, like she meets you in the woods, and like she starts. It's
Give me your hand job or some shit.
no. I can't remember what the real fucking story behind her is. It like because like I said, stories always change.
They always changing.
But like the one that I heard about the Siwanawa apparently was like that. Like there was like these two guys that from where my dad used to be at. They went to the woods. They were fucking around and like they were talking shit about women, and it appeared, and like they tried to fight it, and then it wasn't working for them, so they were running, and as they were trying to run away, like they could feel themselves getting attacked by her. Like she was scratching them and hitting them and that shit. So when they finally got back to like the village area, they took their shirt off and like they had like scratch marks, all on their back and shit. They had slap marks on their face and stuff. And so they were just like, yeah, like we're not rocking with that shit.
Yeah.
There's that La Chupacabra, but that's more like Mexican. But like you hear that shit everywhere. Spanish wise. La Chupacabra, La Llorona. Llorona was Mexican too, but once again, like stories get passed down, generations.
One thing I know what I want to do is go. What was the one like here in Maryland? The fucking forest jump that they made into a movie.
Oh, the Blair Witch Project.
That fucking bullshit. I don't believe it one bit. I'm being dead ass. I really don't believe it. And I even watched the movie. I've seen clips of it, like couple second clips.
Have you watched the full movie?
No. Like I'm telling you, I've seen like trailers of it.
What are the clips that you've seen of it?
Like eventually, I saw like some like the camera being dropped and shit, and then like I think I heard like.
Do you want me to tell you what the Blair Witch Project movie is about?
It's like some kid going looking for a friend, and then he never comes back, and then that friend goes look for that friend, or something like that.
No. Oh. So Blair Witch is because they heard. So the Blair Witch Project is from here in Maryland. It's from a town. I think I even searched it up. It's like an hour and a half away from us.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, let's go through the day, and you're so like, nah.
It's the woods. So people have stories about the woods, right? They're like, there used to be a witch that used to live up there, and at one point back then, like when the during like the pilgrimage times and shit like that, when they found out, they went to go kill her, obviously, because back then they don't fuck with witches, so they killed the witch. And so then, when people go in there, time to time, they go missing. That's really what it was. It was just kids and adults would go missing in that area because they would go in there trying to find the house that belonged to the witch. Mm-hmm. And so they'd go missing. And so not everybody, just some. And so then as a project, this girl thought, like, how cool would it be? And it was her and two other classmates. How cool would it be if we go and we try to find this place and make it as a documentary? It was for school that she was doing it.
I know that part, yeah.
And so and they're like, yeah, let's go do it. Like, we'll camp there for a night and like we'll come back.
Yeah, I don't agree with that shit. But I'll go through during the day.
But see, that's the thing though. For them, where they found most of the activity was at night. It wasn't during the day. What happened during the day is that they got lost. So to them, they went out to the woods, right? They went to like certain paths and everything. And like before they went out there, they were talking to everybody in the town. And so then the clips that you see are from the actual, like when the kids were actually talking to them, because they found the tapes afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that.
So they found the recordings, which is why they're saying that this is based on a true story. And so then they were like, they're like what in our day and age what we would call vlogging.
Yeah.
And so then they go into the woods and everything, and as they get to like a certain part of the woods, they're like, all right, like I think we're like too far in. Let's try to head back. And as they were trying to head back, the way that the story goes is that the witch starts fucking with you, and it starts to make you think that you're going like a certain way, and then you end up somewhere else. So instead of them heading back towards the car, they were going deeper into the woods, and they got lost. And then what the witch does also is that she starts turning you guys against each other. So that's what started happening. Like they were getting mad because they were like, you're the one that's supposed to be following the map, blah, blah, blah. But obviously that tends to happen when you start to get scared because you think you're lost. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then one of them lost the map. And so when they misplaced the map, now they're definitely lost. And so then what happens is that at one point, like one of the guys separates from the group because he was like, man, fuck this, like you guys don't know what you're doing, I'm gonna leave. He separates himself, which was like the worst thing that you could do. So he separated himself from the other two, from the girl and the guy, and then he goes off into the woods on himself. Whatever. Nightfall hits. So the girl and the guy, they have all the camping gear, so they set up tent and everything, and they're camping, and then they start hearing weird ass noises at night. And so then one of the noises, they hear the other guy screaming out for them, but he was already dead. Mm-hmm. And so then he's like, guys, help me. And the two of them are freaking out. So then the other guy leaves the tent. He's like, I'm going to go look for him. And like, she's trying to be like, no, like it could be her fucking with us. He's like, no, I'm going to go look for him. That's our friend. Yada, yada, yada. Right. He goes out to go look for him. Doesn't come back.
That's what I'm saying. You could go one by one. They go missing.
Yeah. So then, but they don't go looking for each other. The girl's not looking for them. She's trying to get the fuck out. Yeah. So the girl at this point, who's still recording everything, second nightfall happens, and like now she's getting even crazier, right? Like she's starting to hear like voices, and then she starts hearing them at night, and then that last part is like she hears both of them, so she starts running towards the voices, and it leads her to like a little shed type looking thing, and she walks inside looking for them, and then she sees one of the guys just standing there. Mm-hmm. And like he's kind of like with his head down, and she's like talking. She's like trying to talk to him. And she's like, "Hey," and then all of a sudden, you just see the guy just turn and run at her, and then that's when the camera drops, and then that's where like you hear like the crackling and screaming of her and everything, and so then when the parents are like, "All right, like they've been out here for too long, like there's no way," they did a search party. Search party comes up against that shed. And then that's where they don't find her. They don't find the two other guys. They just find the tapes. And that's what they brought back with them. And to this day, they don't know where those kids went missing at. So to them, it's just a missing case. They got lost in the woods, whatever. But the tape showed something differently. And so then that's where the Blair Witch Project happens. I watched that movie at work. This is when I used to work at AT&T at that third party. So like, we didn't have enough business to where like we couldn't, like all we did was watch movies. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let me just see what the Blair Witch Project is about, and I put it on. It's on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube for free. And I watched the whole thing, bro. I was there eating my Subway sandwich, and I was like, and then that's from there, and that's when I was like, I am never gonna try to fucking do this dumb shit.
I'm down for it. So
go for it. Tell me how it goes.
Give me the address. I'll go one day. I'll do it when I get these 2 weeks off next month.
Who you gonna take with you to die?
I'll find some jackass.
Jorge?
I know some guy from Home Depot. Like, hey, come with me for an hour real quick.
Do you know how each state has their own like monster?
No.
Yeah, like some places it would be Bigfoot, like because that's where they saw Bigfoot sightings. Some places is like Slender Man. You know what ours is?
What?
It's supposed to be like a bird / bat looking thing, with human features. That's what ours is, and so that's what it is for Maryland.
That sounds stupid.
So like on the countryside of Maryland, like people have seen, like this bat like human figure, like fly around and like fly like close to their cars and shit and swoop down and everything. I can't believe I can't remember. I'm going to look it up right now as you're trying to bring up the other topic. But that's what, yeah. But I forgot. What is it called? So Maryland's.
I don't know.
What is that thing called?
What?
Like, it's not, they don't just say monster. Like, what is Bigfoot known as?
Bigfoot?
No. Oh my God. All right.
No, I don't fucking know. Just put Maryland. I don't even know how you would word it, to be honest. You got any more topics? That was my last one.
No, but talking about like scary shit, right? Have you ever had a scary movie that like scarred you for life?
Damn, scary movie.
That scarred you, like really badly when you were young.
Nah.
Really?
I don't think so. I can't really think, to be honest, because I would watch a lot of scary stuff with my parents. Like usually on Saturdays we would just sit and watch what I don't even know what the TV show will be called, but it was like I don't want to say like it's kind of like a
Like Ghost Hunters.
yeah, but they have more of a storyline, like more of a like a
Okay.
movie
Okay, I
version
got
of a
you.
Ghostbusters or
Okay.
Ghost Hunters. They make it into like a little movie,
I got you.
but and they just
No.
talk about like the real people will talk about their experiences as a narrator, and
I know
then like
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, and they'll make it into like a
Mhm.
movie with their voices explaining what would happen.
So mine, bro, this is when we first moved into this neighborhood. So second grade. Second grade, we were how old? Like 8?
I have no idea.
All right, second grade. Second
Maybe
grade is 2002. So 2022, we're 28 right now.
maybe
So
like
8.
10.
So
Yeah,
we're like 7
somewhere
or
around
8
there.
years old, second grade, right? So second grade, when we first moved to this house, my parents left and my sisters and them, because you remember Blockbuster used to be right over here. They rented a movie called Darkness Falls. Have you ever seen that movie? Bro, as a fucking kid, second grade, you're kind of losing your teeth, right? Darkness Falls is about, so it takes place back in like the pilgrimage times also, and this lady used to give kids like money and candy for them to bring her their tooth. Right? It's just she was a tooth lady of the village. She did it. Old lady. She just did it out of the care for the kids. She was like, the kids are nice and everything, blah blah, whatever. Right? Trying to be a good Samaritan. One day she leaves her place and she goes to like I think she was gonna go. She was picking up like vegetables and stuff like that from her garden, and two burglars jumped into her place and they pretended to be the tooth fairy. And so when two kids showed up to give them their tooth and try to get their stuff, they just beat them up and robbed them. So that lady got blamed for that because the kids went back and told their parents,
Yeah.
and so their parents showed up and were like, "All right, like what's up?"
What's
And they hung her. And so then like when they found out what she was doing, they considered her to be a witch, and they thought that she was using the teeth for witchcraft. And so then they hung her and they burned her. And when they did that, she had set a spell on the town of Darkness Fall. That was the town's name. She said a thing on them is like, you guys are killing me for something I did not do. You guys will see my wrath. Whatever, something like that, right? They hung her and they burned her. Cool. Now the whole town is being haunted by this lady, and it's the kids. When you lost your last tooth, she was coming for you. That's basically what it was. She was coming for you if you lost your last tooth. And so then the story starts with like this little kid. He's scared, right? He had just lost his last tooth. He's scared as fuck, and he hears something moving around in his room. He put the covers over him, and then he feels something hovering over him. So he peeks, and it's her. And so he had a flashlight. So she's, because of the fire, any sort of light thing stops her. She has to be in total darkness. So he flashed a flashlight at her, and like it disappeared into the ceiling.
Yeah.
And the little kid runs out of his bed and runs to his mom's room, and like is like, mom, there's somebody in my room, like, is trying to kill me, but, and there's like, you think that there's a ghost, whatever, but gets up, goes to the room, and she's looking around. She's like, and she's at the door, bro. To this day, this shit still fucking gets me. She's at the door, and she's like, she's smiling. She goes, she's like, there's nothing here. The door slams, and you hear her scream, and then the fucking demon thing opens the door slowly, and you just see his mom dead lying there looking right at him.
Yeah.
So then the kid runs into the bathroom and turns all the lights on, and stays in the bathroom, in the tub, waiting. And like the monster thing opened the bathroom door, and because all the lights, the thing turned off.
Ooh, what if that's the ghost?
Fucking with me, bro.
What if that's the
Bro,
ghost?
stop fucking with me. I don't need to do that.
What if that's the ghost? You're talking too much shit.
Oh, nah. Hey, I'm so sorry. I am sorry. So then, yeah, bro, that's that Darkness Fall. So the whole movie starts with like another kid, and the same shit's happening to him, and the thing is like chasing him. The guy comes back to town to try to help him and save the kid, and yeah, they end up killing it by turning a big ass flashlight on it and like burning to alive again. But that movie scared the fuck out of me growing up. And I was losing my teeth, and I was like, it's gonna come and kill me.
Fucking pussy.
So, yeah, that one stuck with me my whole life. I can watch it now, and I'm like, damn, this is a good movie. But when I was younger, it definitely fucked me up.
Speaking of movies, you know that movie, I don't know if you ever seen it, Hills Have Eyes?
Yeah, that never scared me.
You know that's based on a true story?
Yeah, it's a town that used to live off of cannibalism.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just got hip about it probably a month ago, 2 months ago.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know it was
based,
based on a true story.
Yeah, it's based on a town that actually performed cannibalism.
Yeah.
It was a family that did it.
It was a family, and they would have like relations in the family type shit. That's
why
it was
they said weird.
That's why they say they came out looking all weird and shit.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, their whole village or whatever you want to call them, it was like a lot of them, like over like I want to say more than 100 of them.
Yeah,
like family.
It was a little town, and then and so that's why like they were like police officers and stuff like that, and like the police officers would help them out because it was part of the family, and like they'd be like, all right, yeah, like go down this way, you'll end up here, and blah blah.
It's fucking
and that's
weird. I didn't know it was based on a true story.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, bro. Just to think about that, man. Like a family fornicating within itself, like. I mean, like...
Is there any laws? Like, I always hear about it, but
you're not supposed to...
It's illegal? Like, it's actually illegal?
Yeah, it's illegal for you to get what you're... Yeah, you can go to jail for that.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I always hear people say it's illegal, but I'm like, is it actually or just people just saying
no, it's illegal. You can't have any type of relations with the family member. It's fucking weird. And it's mostly to retain from shit like that happening where they come out all looking fucked up.
Mm. I wonder why they come out looking like that. Because
your it's the same genes. So the same genes, when they clash together, it's like, oh, it's the same thing.
Sorry,
I was about to.
Sorry,
no, I was really about to fucking
what?
Like fuck myself over because I was never mind. So, but yeah,
just make yourself look stupid.
No, it's the genes. I wasn't gonna make myself look stupid. I was gonna do something really fucked up. But no, it's the genes, and that's what makes them look all fucked up. Yeah. Man, that movie was so weird. Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I've never seen it.
You never seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Dog, is it weird that when I was younger, I used to love watching scary movies, but all because if it was rated R, I knew some way, somehow I was going to be able to look at some tits.
That was your version of porn?
Yeah, that was my version of porn when I was young, bro. I was like, oh, if I watch a scary movie, because that's where they always came up on with scary movies. Like, some reason, there was always a girl taking her shirt off. Yep. So I was like, if I watch a scary movie, I'm going to see some tits. So that's why I was always down to watch scary movies. Like, there was one scary movie that my sister used to have on DVD. I loved watching that movie because there was a girl that always took her shirt off.
You fucking horny bitch.
Dog, when you're growing up as a teenager, dog, everything's gonna make you come on, son. You know this as well as I do. You've been through puberty.
I never was
fucking horn dogs.
Was never that I'm gonna watch a movie.
We're fucking horn dogs.
A rated R movie just to look at some titties.
Just look at some titties, bro.
Yeah.
No, but there was one. What's that movie called? I don't think maybe you've watched it, maybe you haven't, but. The plot of the movie is basically like all these kids get invited to go onto this island to party, but you have to be invited to go, and so then like people like they just rent boats to go over there.
It sounds familiar.
Or like they pay some boat people, and like it's an island where and then like the boat guy is like, this is the island you guys want to go to. I don't think you guys should go to this island. And they're like, no, we're just going there to party. It's like some shit has happened on this, whatever, right? They're going to just let them be. They take them to the island, and then turns out that, House of the Dead, or Island of the Dead. It's some shit like that. And then, like, as the people are partying, like, at night, all of a sudden, like, these zombie-like creatures awaken, and they start killing them. Mm. And so then, the only way to get off of the island is to, once again, get on the boat. But the boats don't come back until like way a couple of days later when everybody's already dead. So there was a scene on there where like the girl gets seasick and she has to take her top off because she threw up on her. So the guy threw up on her, so she took her shirt off. And I was like, tits.
You like get to the good part.
Oh no, never that.
Yeah, boy.
Because whenever I watched that movie, it was always with family. But it was in my head. I was like, I'm about to see some tits.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's funny as shit. You got any more?
Nah, that's pretty much it for me. You got anything?
I got no topic, but I got some stuff to say though.
What do you have to say?
So remember I told you Z's ready to come on the show?
Okay.
So she's been writing down like topics, and she's like ready. She's like this Saturday or Sunday when I woke up, I got a text from her. She's like, "Yo, I'm ready for your podcast." I'm like, "What you mean you're ready?" She's like, I got some juicy topics and some questions to ask you guys. I was like, "Hey," I'm like, "All right."
That's crazy.
So she's ready to come.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got that mic fixed, so we'll be good.
Yeah. So she's whenever.
Good thing we know how to fix mics, bro, because we would have been fucked with that mic.
mean,
I can't fix the white one though. The white one's unfixable.
Yeah. But yeah, she's down. She's ready.
That's what's up. All right, Z, we'll have you on here so we can talk shit.
Yeah, she's
See how
ready.
things go.
I wonder what her questions are. From what she says, just questions for guys. So I feel like it's just like she wants like a guy's point of view. Maybe I don't fucking know.
We'll give it to her. But all right, guys. Thank you. If you guys have made it this far into episode number 7,
This was more about ghost
good
talking,
looks.
ghost
Yeah, this
hunting.
is more about like ghost experiences and shit. Tell us about your ghost experiences, because like I'm really fascinated by that shit.
If this video
pussy,
gets just 5 likes, I'll go to the Blair Witch. That's all I need. 5 likes.
but 5 likes, he's gonna go to
5
the Blair
likes.
Witch Woods.
5
But,
likes for the video. I'll go for it in the woods.
I fucking love the whole like paranormal concept. I just don't like being in it. But I like hearing the stories about it. You get what I'm saying? Like the stories are like so cool about it. But all right, guys, thank you for coming.
Remember 5 likes.
Enjoy your day. You
5
guys will see this
likes.
on a Friday, so enjoy your fucking weekend. And
go get schmiggity.
yeah, go be some putas.
Yeah.
Later.
And get some putas.